So you want to start a bin cleaning business? Well, watch this video and hopefully it will help you not make the same mistakes that others have made before you. My name's Chris Gentry. I am the founder of My Service Area, and I have had a front row seat to the bin cleaning world, not only because I own a bin cleaning business, but also because of MSA, or My Service Area. And so I've seen a lot of them come and go over the last 4 or 5 years, and I wanted to share some very important information with you that I've collected through the businesses that have gone through MSA, or should I say that they've started and then they've closed. And this information hopefully will be helpful for you when you're looking at this business, because I truly believe in the business. I'm an owner myself. I believe in it. But it's hard. It's very hard. There's not anything easy about it when it comes to the bin cleaning business. It's a luxury service, and not everybody will be your customer. So let me jump into some reasons that I hear after they have left MSA and closed up shop. Number one, the biggest reason that they went out of business is funding. They bought new equipment. They had high prices as far as, the payment on their trailer or truck, and they did not do, their financial preparing for, a year and a half, 2 years to pay those bills, because customers just don't come beating down your door to have their trash can cleaning when you open up your business. I mean, there is some marketing that has to be done, and you have to pay, your bills in order to survive. So number one is funding, not having enough money saved up or enough capital, access to capital to get through, those first 2 years, probably, maybe even some would argue 3 years. Second thing that I heard from these owners is that they wouldn't buy new. They would buy used, and some of them even do a DIY setup. Even that, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and maybe that's a relative term, because maybe there's some of you watching this right now that have deep pockets and can write a check for a $170,000 truck and not think twice about it. But that was the second thing was, buy used and then upgrade afterwards after the business is established. Because when you look at one of those trucks, let's say, you're spending somewhere between $150,000 to $170,000. I mean, that monthly note payment can be $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And that's just the note. That's not insurance, that's not gas, and everything else that's involved with running a truck. Another item, or another bullet point, is they would have launched a website much earlier and started with building up their list, their email list for people that were interested in the service. So, for example, they launch a website saying, trash can coming the spring is 26. Get in on the early wait list, receive specials, what have you, and start building that. I've got a couple of MSA customers that did that, and they're still in business today. It helps them get a jump start on it. The business, and not waiting till the truck hits their driveway and then go, or the trailer, and then say, oh, wait a minute, I got to put up my website. Launching that website, 3, 4, 5, even 6 months before you buy a unit is a good way to also test your market. Is there anybody interested there? I mean, you can even include, taking it a step further and spend a few $100 a month and on Facebook ads to build up that waiting list. Then finally, this kind of ties into number one, is just not, doing the due diligence in your market. How big is your market? Are there any competitors in your market? Have you truly identified your avatar or your ideal customer? Who will that be? Where do they live? Those are things that you really need to think through and put down on paper and look at to have the big picture of everything. So your financials, who are your customers? How much is the equipment? What are going to be my monthly operating costs just to pay the bills? What are my personal bills? Do I have a mortgage? Do I have rent, power, car payments, what have you? Can my spouse, take some of the payment or carry some of the load while I do this? Am I taking out a mortgage? Am I taking out a loan? There's so many things that you have to think about because I've just seen so many people over the years get into this business thinking that it was easy and they were going to make $1 million because everybody has a trash can and recycling bin, and that's just not the case. I mean, there have been so many businesses that I've worked with that have gone out of business. So again, I think it's a great business. I think there's a lot of upside, but you've got to do your due diligence and understand your market and understand your financials before pulling the trigger. I made a video, gosh, it's probably been 3 years ago, talking about, you need 100,000, 200, 300,000, and people just crushed me. I mean, they just came out of the woodwork and bashed the hell out of me. And it's reality. I still stand by that. It's reality that it takes a lot of money to run this business. When you think about all your bills, your business bills, your personal bills, it takes a lot of money. And for the people that say, oh, I built a DIY, setup for $20,000. I'm out there, cleaning bins for $10. They're not around any longer. They are not around any longer. And that makes me think of another point. This wasn't necessarily related as to why they went out of business, but there were a few MSA customers said that, I wish I wouldn't have started at the bottom. They thought that they had to price themselves at the very bottom, be the cheapest service in their area so they could gain traction, which is a terrible, terrible idea. Don't race to the bottom, Make sure you are generating profit. Profit seems to be a bad word for whatever reason. Everybody wants to hear about top line revenue. I'm doing, $350,000. Well, how much money are you actually making? That's the real question you need to ask yourself and understand. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I wanted to make this short video, but here it is. If you've got any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'm sure there'll be some that come out of the woodwork, but I hope this helps as you look into this business or you're thinking about this business, that take a time, take a step back, do your due diligence, understand what you're getting into in your market and your financials. We'll see you.